my name is Kendi, and welcome to Career Spotlight. Hello.
Hi.
What is your name and what's your profession?
My name is Liz Kassoon, and I am a speaker.
How long have you been a motivational speaker?
Since 2015.
What made you want to be a motivational speaker?
I wanted to help kids, people, adults. I wanted to bring hope and just help change people's lives by inspiring them. And also I wanted to help lower the suicide rate.
How can motivational speaking lower the suicide rate?
So motivational speaking lowers the suicide rate by just, encouraging people and inspiring them to know who they are. And you can say one word that can change somebody's life. A lot of times all the times whenever there's been any cases of suicide, it's because the person didn't believe in who they were, and they didn't believe in their own ability. So they believe these lies that they are less than, and they feel that they can't take it or stand up for themselves, and then they go through things where they end up ending their own lives. So motivational speaking just encourages them to move forward, and motivational speaking tells people who they are, and you inspire them and you create this belief in them that they start to believe, and that helps lower the suicide rate. Because when somebody knows who they are, they would never question themselves and they would never want to hurt themselves.
Can you describe a difficult moment in your life and what made you push forward?
Yes, when I was a little kid, I had a speech impediment, and I, always grew up thinking that I couldn't speak properly. I had different like teachers and just different people helping assist me during that time. And my father was always in my ear, playing motivational tapes and telling me encouraging messages, telling me that I could do anything that I put my mind to. And when I started really believing that, I knew that I was called to speak. And I just wanted to conquer my fear. I didn't want my speech impediment to label me or define me as who I was. So that was a moment where I just took and I said, you know what, this message of encouraging people is a lot more important than my own fear of being able to speak properly. And I just use it as a challenge. Like I said, okay, this is an awesome challenge. Let me conquer it. And then I started telling myself that I was a speaker, an international speaker, and I started going after it. I started putting myself in classes to teach myself how to speak properly. I started reading different books and changing my circles so that I was forcing myself to even, to get better and better at just speaking. And now here I am, a speaker. This was when I was probably from when I was in second grade, and now I'm a certified speaker and trainer under Les Brown, and he's one of the top motivational speakers in the world.
Can you describe your first time speaking?
Yes. So my first time where I actually forced myself to speak, this was before my first actual event. I remember I was terrified. I was so scared that I actually left and started crying, and I called my dad because I was conquering my fear of speaking in front of people and doing something that I believed that wasn't possible, but at the same time I believed that it was possible. And I remember I was crying. I cried, and my dad was just like, no, it's okay, you don't have to do it. And then I said, you know what, Dad, I have to do it, because if I don't do it, then I'm going to allow my fear to conquer me, and I'm not going to do that. And I went up there and I spoke, and I did an awesome job. And that was the first time I had my first speaking engagement. Well, it wasn't technically an engagement, but that was that was one of the most crucial moments for me in my speaking career, is when I crossed that threshold. Because from from that moment on, every other event it was just it didn't even matter anymore. It was just okay, you know what? My message is a lot more important than my fear, and I cried my first time, and that was about it.
What is your vision for the community?
To make the community better by just encouraging people to help out where they can, and to play more of a role in the community and helping out our youth, to encourage our youth and motivate our youth, and allowing everybody just to do their part and teaching them to do their part.
What legacy would you like to leave?
I would like to leave a legacy that brought people around the world together and helped and built orphanages around the world to help the kids and even adults that have lost their way, and to get them back into working environments and get them back in society.
What advice would you give someone who wanted to be a motivational speaker?
Tell your story to anybody that will listen.
And thank you for joining us on Career Spotlight.
You're welcome.